Today we will start the last chapter of your geography. This is Life in the Desert. This is your ninth chapter, not tenth. In older book, you will find that it is given as chapter 10, but actually it is chapter 9 according to the new syllabus because one of the chapters is deleted. Okay, so we are going to deal with this life in the desert. So desert are those places where we find a scarcity of water, very less rainfall is there, very less water is there in the soil, because of which the soil is not present there. The soil turns into sand, and the water vapor which is present in the atmosphere is also very low. So these are the characteristic of the desert: less rainfall, no greenery, no grass, no cultivation, because scarcity of water. And the desert can be of two types: the hot desert and the cold desert. The hot desert is where the temperature is very high, and the cold desert is where temperature is very low. But what is common in both these deserts is the scarcity of water. So first of all, we will discuss about the hot desert of Sahara. Sahara is in northern part of Africa, and it is the world largest desert, and its area is 8.54 million square kilometer, and it touches 11 countries. Like the countries are Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Niger, Sudan, Tunisia, and Western Sahara. And we see that uh, this Sahara Desert, in Sahara Desert, you will find sands are there. Other than sand, we see that there are also gravel plains and some elevated plateaus are also there, which are full of bare rocky surface, which can be as high as 2,500 kilometers. And this is the map of Africa, in which you can see the Sahara Desert is located in the northern part of Africa. And now we will see the climate of Sahara Desert. It is very, very hot and dry, and the rainy season is very short. The sky is always cloudless and clear, and the moisture evaporates faster than it accumulates because of high temperature. And days are very, very hot. The temperature goes up to more than 50 degrees centigrade, and this causes the heating up of sand and the bare rocks, and it radiates heat, making everything around hot. So, very much heat is there, and the nights become very cold, freezing cold, where when we find that the temperature goes down to 0 degree. And now we see flora and fauna. What is the flora and fauna in Sahara Desert? Vegetation in Sahara Desert includes cactus, date palm, and acacia. These are the plants which we find in all the desert. I know. And in some places there are oases. Oasis is the green land where you can find greenery, in which we find date palms are there. And the animals which are found in desert are camel, hyena, jackal, fox, scorpion, and many varieties of snakes are also there, and varieties of lizards are also found in these in the Sahara Desert. And we see what how the people are. The Sahara Desert has the climate is very harsh, and still we find that it is inhabited by various group of people, and people are doing so many activities. Like the people the who live here are Bedouins and Tuaregs. Bedouins and Tuaregs are the people who are nomadic tribes. Nomadic means the people who do not live at the same place, but they move from one place to another place. These are the people who rear livestock like goat, sheep, camel, horse. All these animals are reared by the people. There's nomadic people, and these animals provide them with milk, hides, and from which they make so many things like belts, slippers, water bottle, and the hair of these animals are also used for making mats, carpet, clothes, and blankets. है ना? And we see that the people in Sahara Desert wear heavy robes. Why? Because it protects them from dust, storm, and hot winds. And in Sahara and in the Nile Valley in Egypt, we see that oasis is there, and this oasis supports settled population because of oasis. Some settled population is there because at that place water is available, and people grow date palms, and some crops are also grown there like rice, wheat, barley, है ना, and beans. All these are possible. Why? Because water is available, है ना. And people also grow cotton like Egyptian cotton, which is very famous in the whole world. And then we find that there are some countries like Algeria, Libya, and Egypt which have a treasure of oil. And because of this discovery of oil, we find that the Sahara desert is constantly changing. We see that the cultural landscape of Sahara is undergoing change. You can see in the Sahara desert glass cased office buildings, very high, which have very great height. And earlier there used to be only we can see only mosque which can be seen from the very far away place because of its height. But nowadays these glass cased office buildings are higher than the mosque. And not only this, there are super highways also which crisscross the ancient camel paths. पहले जहाँ पर सिर्फ कैमल्स चला करते थे, अब वहाँ पर सुपर हाईवेज हो गए हैं जो कि क्रिस क्रॉस करते हैं एक दूसरे को. एंड इन दिस वे वो कैमल पाथ्स जो है वो अब वो रिप्लेस हो गया है ना. एंड ट्रक्स आर रिप्लेसिंग कैमल्स इन द सॉल्ट ट्रेड होता है जिसमें ट्रक्स से होता है, न कि कैमल से होता है ना. सो दीज आर द changes which are happening in this Sahara. Okay, and Tuaregs are seen acting as guides to foreign trade tourists. जो टूरिस्ट आते हैं उनके लिए वो गाइड बन जाते हैं Tuaregs. And now more and more people are leaving this place, and they are settling in city life. They are finding jobs in oil and uh, gas operations. Okay, so now we will see the cold desert of Ladakh. Ladakh is a cold desert which is lying in the Great Himalayas. Great Himalayas जो हिमालय का सबसे ऊंचा वाला portion है, that is known as Great Himalayas, and it is on the eastern side of Jammu and Kashmir. On the eastern side of Jammu and Kashmir. And in the north of this Ladakh, we find Karakoram range is there, and Janskar mountain is in the south. ठीक है. काराकोरम रेंज जो है वो नॉर्थ में है, और जंस्कार माउंटेन जो है वो साउथ में है. And so many rivers flow through Ladakh, in which Indus is the most important. The This river forms so many valleys and gorges, and it flows through Ladakh. Then it reaches Pakistan. And other than rivers, several glaciers are also there in Ladakh, like Gangri Desert Glacier is one such glacier which is there in the Ladakh, Gangri. So we see that the altitude in Ladakh varies from 3000 meter in Kargil to more than 8000 meter in the Karakoram. ठीक है. जो लद्दाख में एल्टीट्यूड है वो वैरी करता है. 3000 मीटर कारगिल में है, और अगर काराकोरम हम जाते हैं तो वो 8000 मीटर तक चला जाता है. और बिकॉज द एल्टीट्यूड इज़ वेरी हाई, वी फाइंड द क्लाइमेट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली cold and dry. Avi, right now we have seen that the climate of Sahara is hot and dry, but the climate of Ladakh is cold and dry. And we see that the air is very thin. है ना. So what happens, because the density of air is very low, so what happens that the heat of the sun is felt very badly. and in the daytime the temperature is just above 0 degree, है ना. डे टाइम में टेम्परेचर 0 डिग्री से अबव हो जाता है, जस्ट अबव. एंड नाइट टेम्परेचर जो है वो तो दैट गोज बिलो 30 डिग्री, -30 डिग्री. सो इट इज़ फ्रीजिंग कोल्ड इन द विंटर्स. विंटर्स में तो जो रात का टेम्परेचर है वो और भी नीचे चला जाता है, लाइक -40 डिग्री तक टेम्परेचर होता है. सो ये बहुत ही हार्श क्लाइमेट इसको हम कहेंगे. एंड रेन रेन नहीं होता है यहाँ पर बिल्कुल भी. वाई? लिटिल रेनफॉल होता है. वाई? बिकॉज इट फॉल्स इन द रेन शेडो ऑफ द हिमालयाज. हिमालय के रेन शेडो में ये पड़ता है. ठीक है. एंड एवरी ईयर जो रेनफॉल है दैट इज मैक्सिमम 10 सेंटीमीटर. एंड द एरिया एक्सपीरियंस फ्रीजिंग विंड, बहुत ही फ्रीजिंग ठंडी हवा, और बर्निंग हॉट सनलाइट. दोनों एक साथ चलते हैं. एक तरफ फ्रीजिंग विंड है और दूसरी तरफ बर्निंग हॉट सनलाइट है. And you can see that if you sit in the sun with your feet in the shade, you may suffer from both at the same time. Sunstroke because you are sitting in the sun, but at the same time you will be frostbitten. Why? Because your feet is in the shade. So this is the condition. This is the harshness of the climate. Okay, and now we see what is the flora and fauna of this region. The aridity is very high. Aridity means dryness. The climate is dry, so the vegetation is very sparse. बहुत कम vegetation होता है यहाँ पे. बहुत कम patches of grass मिलते हैं. Scanty, बहुत कम patches of grass and shrubs मिलते हैं जिसको कि animals graze कर सके. And there are some groves of willows and poplars. एंड समर सीजन में कुछ फ्रूट के ट्रीज भी हमें यहाँ पर मिलते हैं, लाइक एप्पल, एप्रिकॉट, वॉलनट ब्लूम्स. वॉलनट है ना, ये सब समर सीजन में. एप्पल, एप्रिकॉट एंड वॉलनट, इनकी यहाँ पर पेड़ होते हैं. ये फ्रूट्स होते हैं यहाँ पे. और अगर हम फौना को देखें तो बहुत सारे बर्ड्स के स्पीसीज जो हैं वो लद्दाख में मिलते हैं. रॉबिन, रेड स्टार्ट्स, तिब्बतन स्नोकॉक, raven, hoop, these are the common birds which can be found here, है ना. And in these words some are migratory because of the harsh climate they have to leave this place. They go to that place where they can experience lesser cold, है ना. And the animals are wild goats, wild sheep, yak, and a special kind of dogs. And wild goats, wild sheep, yak, and special kinds of dogs. And the animals are reared for the purpose of milk, meat, and hide. Yak's milk is used to make cheese and butter, and the hair of sheep and goat is used to make woolens. You have read about this Ladakh in your class 6 also. Hello. So now we will be doing about the people. So we find that the people are of Ladakh are very much similar, or they resemble to the inhabitants of Tibet and Central Asia. And the religion of the people is they are either Muslim or Buddhist, है ना. And we see that several Buddhist monasteries dot the Ladakhi landscape with their traditional gompas. Buddhist monasteries are there, and you can find these monasteries in which monks used to live. And in these monasteries, there is traditional gompas, and some famous monasteries are Hemis, Thikse, She, and Lamayuru. These are the name of the famous monasteries in the Ladakh region. And then we see that in the summer season, the people are busy in cultivating some of the grains like barley, and they also grow potato, peas, beans, and turnip. These are the crops they grow in the summer only. The climate, the climate in winter month is very harsh, and in order to keep themselves engaged, people are engaged in so many activity festivities and ceremonies ताकि उनका ठंड पर ध्यान न जाए, in order to avoid their attention on the cool temperature. They keep themselves engaged in festivities and ceremonies. And the women here are very very hardworking. They work not only in the house but also they not only work in the house and fields, but they have to manage small business and shops also, because the Ladakh is a tourist place. People from various places come here for the purpose of visiting, है ना? तो the women, they manage a small business and shops. And the capital of Ladakh is Leh, and it is well connected both by road and air. And there is a national highway 1A which connects Leh to Kashmir. Leh को कश्मीर से कनेक्ट करता है और थ्रू जोजिला पास होते हुए ये निकलता है. And what are passes? Passes are the narrow passage through which we can cross the mountain from one side to another. Okay. And we see that tourism is a very important activity here. So many tourists stream in from within India and abroad, because this the place is very much scenic landscape यहाँ के बहुत ही अच्छे होते हैं. Then people also come to visit the monasteries. People also come to visit to experience the culture of this place, है ना? People make visit to Gompas. They trek to see the meadows and glaciers. They witness ceremonies and festivities. So these are the important activities of the people. And but here also we find that the life of the people is undergoing change. Why? Because of modernization. Modernization is taking place. People of Ladakh have over the centuries learned to live in balance and harmony with the nature. They are living in harmony with the nature, and that is why they are able to survive there in this harsh climatic condition also. And there is very scarcity of this resources like water, fuel, everything is scarce there. So people know the importance of natural resources. They never misuse the natural resources. They always try to reuse the natural resources. So this is the important thing about Ladakh, that people know and how important are the natural resources. So they use it in a very uh, reasonable manner. Okay. Now there are some extra informations like Manali Leh highway जो है that crosses 4 passes. ठीक है, मनाली लेह जो हाईवे है जो कि मनाली हिमाचल में है, लेह लद्दाख इनको जोड़ने वाला, ये 4 passes से गुजरता है. ठीक है, इट पासेस थ्रू 4 passes. रोहतंगला, यस इट इज रोहतंगला, बारालाचा ला, Lungalachala, and Tanglangla. These are the passes. The highway opens only between July and September, because this is the time when snow is cleared from the road. So the highway can be opened. Otherwise, the highway is not opened. So this is all you have done. You have completed your syllabus of social science, history, civics, and geography. And now you are going to take your annual examination. So best of luck for your examination. uh, you must do hard work. You must study hard. Then only you can enjoy after the exams, है ना? So just study, study and study. Okay, so this is all for today.